Welcome back to the R-Rated Podcast. The R-Rated Podcast. This week's guest is...
Welcome back to the R-Rated Podcast. Today's guest is...
Hi, I'm Kyle Gelfand.
Woo! So, if you might know him, you might know him from stand-up comedy. He's kind of a legend at the Comedy Chateau. I saw him perform, and it was pretty amazing. So I want to talk about, first of all, how you got into comedy, but let's rewind on how you got into acting as well, because we met on a short film set back in, was it 2020 or 2019?
I think it was before COVID. It was Kennedy's short film.
Oh my God, was it before COVID?
Yeah, I think so.
Were we not wearing masks?
No, it was during COVID. It was during
Honestly,
COVID.
I can't remember a time before COVID, so I'm like, really?
BC and AC.
Literally. Okay. So
DC during
so
COVID.
Still was the project we met on. I don't know if it's out yet, but it was a short film about I don't want to give away too much, but a miscarriage.
Yeah. It's not a comedy.
It's not it's not a comedy. Very opposite of what Kyle does.
Yeah.
And I was doing wardrobe on that set, and Kyle was
acting. I was playing a nurse. Yeah.
So was that one of your first roles, or were you your season, and how long have you been acting now?
Yeah,
in the
so
industry?
I got into acting. I did the musicals in high school.
Don't look at me like I should have known. Yeah, I did the music.
No, I look at people when I talk to them. So,
No,
but I did the musicals in high school.
Wait, I love that. What kind of musical? So you know how to sing?
No, I can sing confidently, but I'm not a good singer. The first thing I actually did was a camp musical. I played Shrek in Shrek the Musical.
Wait, that's actually pretty badass.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun.
Wait, that's awesome. Okay.
And I did the musical because I went to a boys camp.
Yeah.
But when you did the senior show,
Yeah.
you got to do it with the girls camp.
Yeah.
And so that was the only reason I auditioned, was to get to talk to girls.
You're like, hey, I'm Shrek.
Yeah. And
I'm playing Shrek.
Playing Shrek was not a great move. Little
They're
did I
that's
know.
so hot.
But yeah, it was I was like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah.
I like doing this.
Yeah.
And so then.
So you were never nervous on stage? Did you ever have stage fright, or was that not?
I feel like I still kind of get nerves, even
really?
Even right before I'll do a set. There's that 2 minutes of just all right.
I was gonna ask you that, because when I saw you perform at the stand-up comedy show, I literally was I'm in the front row with maybe 5 other people that he may know. I'm I wonder if that's nerve-wracking, or you just pretend everybody's just a potato in the audience.
Yeah, that was an interesting experience for me, because you guys were on one side of the front row, and then my other friends were on the other side of the front row. And one of my favorite.
So how do you deal with that?
Yeah,
how do you see past that? Because I feel I would just be oh my God, I see his face. I see that'd be so weird.
I made a joke about it at one point,
Right,
so that's one way to deal with it.
You did.
Comedians love to make jokes when they're uncomfortable, as do people. And yeah,
I always have an awkward ass laugh when things are awkward. I'm or I don't know what to say, or I'm
yeah.
And some people call me out, they're ha ha ha, and I'm oh, I forget, I did it out loud, I thought it was in my head.
But yeah, I like to just my favorite part of doing stand-up is talking to people who I never get to talk to. So that was definitely a weird experience for me.
Let's break it down. How did you go? How did you start with stand-up comedy? Did you?
So I've been doing improv for a very long time.
Okay.
So improv comedy is my first true love as far as comedy goes. Yeah, I joined a troupe in college. I was in an improv troupe for 4 years.
Shit. Okay.
And then when I moved out here, I did the Second City program, and then I was in the Groundlings pre-COVID. I was in the intermediate level, and then
no big deal. I love it. Intermediate.
Yeah,
I love
it was fun. Yeah.
Wait, what do you learn? What's improv 101? I feel I remember maybe it was never say no.
Yeah, yes and is
yes
maybe.
And?
Yeah.
Okay.
So just accept on what the reality of the situation is, and then build on that. So if your partner makes something true,
right,
then that's true for the world that you guys exist in.
Okay.
Which is something really important in improv.
If I was let's do a little example.
Should we do a little improv?
I'm not saying that I would be good at this, but I want to try.
Improv is fun.
Or do you want to take the lead? Because I'm I don't know.
I don't know. What are we doing?
I don't know. I want to do a little improv thing. I think it'd be fun.
Okay, so here's a little improv exercise that we would do in college. Okay. So somebody makes a statement, so I'll make the first statement.
All right.
And then you'll say yes, repeat that statement.
Okay.
And
add something.
And then you add something.
Shit.
Yeah. And it's
Shit.
and,
Okay,
not
okay.
but, because but is negating.
Right.
Which
Okay.
takes away from truth of the scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coffee's really great in the morning.
Yes, coffee's really great in the morning, and it gives me energy.
Yes.
Is that
coffee
really?
gives you energy.
Oh, okay. Yes.
And it makes my tummy feel kind of weird.
Yes, coffee does give me energy, and it does make my tummy hurt. And I might have to go pee now. Is that
Yes,
okay?
yeah. You might have to go pee now.
Is that how you do it?
And you can literally do that.
I'm like, I can't tell if I'm like, we don't have an audience laughing, so I'm like, is it
no?
working?
And it's not supposed to be funny. It's just supposed
Right.
to kind of train your mind to get it. It's a muscle memory kind of thing where your
okay.
mind gets used to just
like
accepting everything. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's like the hard? Like, what do you struggle with like improv? Like, do you ever feel like nervous?
Oh,
like,
nothing. I'm the best ever.
Really?
No,
You're
I'm just kidding.
like, I'm just like right now, even if it was just the two of us, I'm like, fuck. Like, what am I gonna say?
It
like,
is.
What do I say to this comeback?
Well,
you know what I mean?
You like to get to a point when you've been doing it enough, especially with the same people in
Yeah.
college. I was doing it with the same group for almost 4 years.
But what if you're not doing it with the same group? Like,
it's
that
definitely
common?
tougher. Yeah, well, especially
Yeah.
when you're taking classes
Right.
out in LA.
Right.
It's much.
you're like, what is this person gonna say?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
And you just got to surrender. Like that's it. That's why it's it's
stressful.
acting
that's
too.
why, that's literally why I don't know if I can be an actor, because I'm just like, you have to just be so like on it and like not saying that I can't be vulnerable. Like I feel like directing brings that side out for sure, but like in a
100%.
different type of way.
Definitely.
But acting, it's like you're the one like bringing those emotions out for
Yeah.
everyone to see, and it's like if you have any kind of doubt of like people judging you or not wanting to be judged, that's like hard to.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, like I feel like it's hard to be an actor when you have like that kind of
Yeah.
self-doubt or something.
No,
like that.
100%.
Do you ever have like doubt like that, or have you always?
Oh
like,
yeah,
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
What?
I mean, I'm still learning every single day as an actor and getting better.
I feel like
as an
we
actor.
should be learning every
Yeah.
single day. If not, like, how are you going to perfect yourself and
Anthony
your art?
Hopkins is still getting
Yeah,
better at
literally.
acting. You know what I mean? He just won an
Literally.
Oscar a couple of years ago. He's
Yeah.
every single person at their career and their craft should be
Right.
trying to get better every single day.
Right, exactly.
And so I've been acting for a very long time,
yeah.
but
what was the quotations for?
because I didn't really know the actual craft of acting until I moved out to LA and started
Okay.
taking classes.
How long ago did you move out to LA, and where did you move from?
Okay,
Just so
fun
just so
questions.
yeah.
It'll be 5 years in September.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah, I'm here. I've been out here for 5 years too.
Okay.
5-year anniversary.
Where are you from?
The Bay Area.
Oh, okay.
Was that not exciting?
No,
okay.
because I knew you were from California, but I thought you were from LA, so I was confused.
Do I give off that vibe?
Yeah.
Really? Do I
Well,
give off that?
No, but you
Yeah.
give off California.
Yay!
It's
I'll
all-
take that. I'll take that.
For
Okay.
people from New Jersey, like me, everybody in California kind of seems the same.
You know what? You do give New Jersey vibes.
I-
That's
A Jersey boy?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So I'm from New Jersey. I went to school in Indiana for 4
Okay.
years,
Wow.
and
nice.
then I moved out here.
And
yeah.
what were your parents thinking? Were they like, go do it, like, you follow your dreams, or were they like, it's a little far? Like, do you really
No,
think this
super
is...
supportive. I'm very lucky to have such supportive
Okay.
parents. Yeah, my mom is just absolutely incredible. She takes credit for my
For your
sense of humor. So she's
like,
very
I made you and
yeah.
the humor.
She does.
Pretty
She does.
much.
Yeah. She gets on me for there not being enough jokes
Are your
about
parents like? Do they do anything in the entertainment industry, or are you the first one in
no.
the family? Like,
So,
what's the vibe?
On my mom's side, there's a couple people who are in the entertainment industry.
Mm-hmm.
My dad's brother is a pianist.
Ooh, okay.
But none are actors / comedians. My mom has a cousin who's a writer.
Nice.
Yeah. And
very cool. But you're like the first, I guess, in your immediate family.
yes. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Very cool.
My dad's a doctor. And so, yeah. We actually bonded over the fact that my dad is a recovered addict.
Yes.
And
also, little side note, I had Kyle play the drug dealer in my documentary.
I look like a
I'm
drug
not
dealer.
trying to typecast.
No. It's
no.
It's
he's
happened.
very sweet,
Yeah.
very amazing. Not like I just in this moment I was like, I want someone that I feel like can understand the story, wouldn't like make it. This was a very personal like case and story to me, so I didn't want just like anybody to like come on that I didn't know. Like I didn't want to do like this whole like backstage or LA casting. So I was like, I would rather pick someone that I like feel like I can trust
to be in that
and
safe space.
Yeah. And then when I actually called Kyle and we talked about the project, I didn't know that was, you know, that your dad had had gone through that. So it actually was a bonding moment that brought us even closer together, because I was like, oh shit, like I had no idea.
Yeah.
And that, but you know, like what it feels like, you know, to go through something like that. So instantly I felt even more connected, felt even more like you're the right person to bring on. But I did want to like talk to you about that. Like, what was it like playing something that you're totally not, you know what I mean? Like you're not a drug dealer. You're not like, you're not like selling heroin.
Yeah.
That I know of.
It's funny because for me,
you're like, actually, I gotta go drop off the sack really quick.
No, it's actually convenient because they're right down the street.
I mean, this area is.
No, but I was gonna say was for me. What's funny is I feel like it's actually easier to play roles that I'm.
Please elaborate on
not
that. I'm very
like
curious about
when
that.
there's a distance between me and the character that I'm playing.
Okay.
It's harder for me to judge that character, and you never want to judge your character because you know that's
who you're playing
exactly, and that's who you're trying to honor,
right?
And especially when you're playing someone like the character that I played in the documentary, not necessarily the most morally sound person,
right?
You need to be a mirror for those kind of people who exist out in the real world, so that they could see, you know, themselves on screen.
Right. That's an excellent point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I feel like exactly what you said, you have to be that mirror. So people, when you're watching it, like there'll be times I'm watching a movie and I'm like, holy shit, like I can relate to this. And it might not even be the prettiest way that I want to relate to it. Right. It might be like, oh, like this person was going through like a really tough time.
It's like a wake up call.
Exactly.
Sometimes.
You're just like, holy shit, I'm seeing myself on screen. Might not be like how you want to see yourself on screen, but I think it's a real like eye-opening experience when you do get to like experience something like that.
Absolutely.
And I think nowadays, like we're definitely we see more characters that portray a lot more people and not just like the same type of typecast.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But yeah, so what do you like prefer to like play if you could choose? I mean, like if you're like, okay, I want to be this type of actor, or like in this, like, are you would you want to do TV shows? Would you want to do feature films, or like what's your vibe? Or is that even like what you want to still pursue? Or is it like strictly stand-up comedy now? Like
it's kind of all of it. I've been doing stand-up comedy now for about 6 months. And so I'm still definitely on the newer side of that. I think it's fair to say.
Wait, only 6 months?
Yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Wow. Sorry, I just felt like with your confidence level and all the shows that you've been doing recently, like it doesn't seem like a 6 month like journey. Yeah,
I kind of dove right on into it.
That's honestly the best way to do it though, is just to like leap into something, especially when you have that fear of like, is this the right like path? Like, should I do it? Like,
because I thought about it for so long.
Really? So how long has it been an idea in your head, or like?
So I did an open mic like 4 years ago.
Oh, shit.
3.5 years ago. Okay. And it was just like something that I always wanted to try, something that I always wanted to do. Yeah. And I was like, okay, that was fun, but it's it's not really for me. Improv. That was
thrill seeking enough.
Yeah. It was the first time was
I would be fucking shaking, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I could not do it. I don't think I could do it. Like
it's a very vulnerable thing to do.
Right.
Yeah.
I definitely have stuff that I'm like, we could laugh about that has happened to me. But I just feel like I'd be up there and I'd be like, oh my God, am I even funny? Is this even funny? And then I would doubt everything, and then I just kind of shrivel up.
I definitely have moments on stage like that.
How do you prepare? Like before you go on, are you like bah, bah, like in High School Music?
I do. I actually have this one thing that I do. I meditate every morning.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, I'm a meditator.
I love that. Okay.
Yeah. Doesn't work because I still get super angry on the 101, but I don't think anything.
Honestly, who doesn't? Like,
no, exactly.
If you're not getting mad, like you're probably not real.
Yeah, that's true.
You're a ghost.
Yeah.
So you meditate.
I meditate every morning, which I think has definitely. I've been doing that for over a year now.
Okay.
And
what got you into meditating? Like, was it
my acting coach.
Oh.
Yeah. Who I've been quoting, Constance. I've been quoting you a lot on this podcast already. So just know that I know that I'm quoting you.
I love
a lot
it.
of the acting things that I've
Yeah.
said. She's reiterated to us over and over. That's how I met Kennedy, too.
No
It was
way.
an acting class. Yeah.
That makes sense. And
Mhm.
how did you find this acting class? Was it recommended to you or online or?
She is the coach of a relative of mine.
No way.
He's technically, I think the term is fifth cousin. But
Nice.
Harry, he's a great actor,
Okay.
great kid.
Okay.
He's finishing up at Harvard right now, and then he's going to be out here in LA.
Very
back
nice.
in the business with us. Yeah.
Wait, does Harvard have an acting program?
He's in their film and television program.
Oh,
From
wow.
there, yeah.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Mhm.
So you go to these classes how many times a week? Like
Once a week.
once a
But
week.
we're in there from 7:30 usually till at least 1 a.m.
Oh, wow.
That's a long class.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
what's happening in these classes? I'm very curious. I mean, obviously you guys are acting, but like break it down. Like you enter there, there's like what, a group of like 20 people or more?
Depending on the week, I'd say it's around 15 to 20.
Okay.
Yeah. And we...
Do you know these people? Like,
Yes,
I mean, now
we're a
now
tribe.
you do.
We're a tribe.
Okay.
Mhm.
But like when you first started, was it like this is the beginning of a new class, or you joined a class that was already actively going?
So they had been doing it for years. The tribe
Okay.
had been around for a very long time.
The tribe. I like it.
Yes.
The acting
And
tribe.
so my cousin Harry put me in touch with Constance.
Okay.
And I moved down to LA in September 2017.
Oh my god, we moved literally like right after. I moved.
Oh, wow.
I moved January 2017.
Did you not go to college out here?
I
Or
went to,
is that when you moved out here for college?
I went to New York Film Academy
That's what I
in
thought.
Burbank Film
Yeah.
School. Yeah. Which was awesome, but I graduated in May 2020, which was
so during COVID.
worst time to graduate, and that's why the podcast
feel for
happened,
you
because
guys.
I literally didn't get my Warner Brothers screening. Like all
Oh.
the stuff that was supposed to come with like the big finale of like graduating film school didn't happen, and I was like super sad. And I was like, how can I like keep this shit going, you know, and not feel like everything got taken away and everything just kind of went to shit, because I didn't get to like go to any film festivals and stuff because they weren't having any because of COVID. You couldn't be inside, you know. So I was like, okay, I'll start the podcast. I did it in my kitchen studio. Had no idea what I was doing, but you know,
like you said, you just got to dive in.
You just got to dive in. That's why
you
when
can't.
I just started diving into the stand-up. Like I just went. You just went on a. You just went for it here in LA, and you've been doing it the last 6 months. I'm like, what? But it makes total sense, because I feel like that's how good things happen, great things happen.
And I love doing it too. You know what I mean? And
that's what really, like, that's what it comes down to. You have to love it. You have to be passionate about it, but you have to also have discipline with it, you know?
Yeah.
Like motivation only gets you so far.
No.
But discipline really, like,
and accountability.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so you
So
excited?
I moved out to LA in September, and then I started the acting class I joined the tribe in November. And from that first night on, I was like, oh, I don't need to find another acting class.
Amazing. Wow.
These people.
How often does that happen where you're just like, this is
very, very, very rarely. I ask people about it, and I have a couple friends who have joined via recommendation of me. And they're like, I can't believe this. You're so lucky that this is the only class that you've been in LA, because there's some brutal acting classes, I'm sure, out here.
And I feel like besides brutal, it's also probably like you get your scam classes here.
That's another thing too.
You know, like, I like to talk about how shit in the film industry is really like, you know, fake sometimes, or you don't really know like who's real, what's real, like when it comes to
we play make believe for a living.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So I'm sure it comes like with these acting classes as well. Like I'm sure, you know, online they might portray themselves as like the best acting class, like you'll get signed for sure after you know, joining this class or whatever, and then like it's
agents come to our showcases,
right? Yeah. How often? Like, but you said that actually hasn't happened to you at all. Like, where you go to something, this is bullshit.
I had, when I first moved out here, I had a coaching. I don't even remember the person's name, honestly. But it was 1 hour, and it was way too much money for this quote unquote coaching. And I remember telling Constance, my now coach, about it. And she was like, yeah, you're good here. You don't need to be getting scammed anywhere else again.
I love that. You don't need to get scammed. Just stay here.
And what's great about Constance is Constance does it because of her love for the craft. Not because
she's not
of
trying to just get your guys' money.
It has nothing to do with that. She does it strictly because she loves being there every Tuesday night with us. And just just like we're, you know, she likes to say we're sharpening each other's swords, which is what we are doing.
Amazing.
You know, we're just every week just getting each other better.
Yes.
And it's
when you have that team of support,
Yeah.
and like someone who believes in you, even if it's or a group of people, it's even better, honestly. But if you have that like that backbone, it's you really feel like you could do so much.
Yeah.
And like I feel like that's what I've been learning recently too. Is like you only need one person to really believe in you,
right?
And make you feel like I can do this,
right?
You know,
like Lady Gaga said.
Yeah. Oh God. But yeah, I mean, not to get all cheesy.
No, but it's
honestly,
true.
There's
a lot of corny lines that hold a lot of weight. Yeah.
Fucking Lady Gaga, so on point.
But yeah,
okay, get back. Yeah,
so
sorry.
Acting, it's a very vulnerable thing to do, especially when you're doing things that aren't just comedy, which I do still love to do, like being able to take myself to an emotional place and just like being okay with that feeling. Is when you come out of it, it's a really incredible feeling knowing that you were actually in that different space.
I can't even imagine, honestly.
It's scary, but it's also just like it's exhilarating.
Wow.
And so having that group of people in that safe place where you know that you can, one, fail, and two, be emotionally and it's okay, you have to fail. Yeah. Everybody has to fail.
What? No, I'm just kidding. I've never. No, I'm just kidding.
we knocked down like everything before. Everything was like a disaster before we set this up.
Exactly. And then so you had that like motivation, inspiration from this acting class, and then you just felt like I can do it. I can pursue stand-up comedy here. So
when COVID happened, I couldn't do improv obviously anymore. I was signed up to do intermediate at the Groundlings, and COVID happened, and I couldn't really justify paying for online improv classes. Maybe that's right for some people, but for me, that just didn't sound like something that I wanted to do.
Right.
And I ended up purchasing a couple years into COVID. I was doing a lot of writing during COVID. I wrote my first feature.
Wow.
Which was awesome. Yeah. Okay. I wrote a couple pilots.
How did the inspiration come from that? Like, were you just like, I have time and
I had a lot of time and
I had a lot of time. We all did.
Yeah.
Like, you'd be lying if you said like, oh no, I was so busy during that first like couple months ago. And everybody's all like
shut up. No, no, you weren't.
No, you didn't.
No, you weren't. That is a lie.
You were lying.
But I had this idea for a very long time, and I've always loved to write.
Right.
I did a lot of sketch writing in college too. Our improv troupe, we would always open with a sketch. And so,
very cool.
And I was a film and television. It was technically media production, but that was my major in college.
Yeah.
So I would do a lot of writing in college, and I had a bunch of ideas. I had written a pilot once before that, but I had this feature idea that I always really wanted to do.
Yeah.
It's a very close to home story.
Okay.
And I was just like, fuck it, let's do it. And
so you finished writing it, and
I finished a couple drafts of it.
Okay.
My cousin Harry, who I mentioned earlier, he's a very, very talented writer. Ooh. And so he's been helping me in the process of just like, getting each draft better.
Right.
So currently I'm kind of bad. I like to write different things at once. And especially now that I've gotten into stand-up comedy, I'm just joke writing a lot of the time.
Right.
Instead of writing like
a
series or a show idea. Yeah. So anyway.
I love it. No, please get into detail.
Cool.
But this is what the podcast is all about.
That's a good point. Yeah. You brought me on here to talk.
Yeah.
A couple years into COVID, I decided to get the masterclass package.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if you've ever done any of those.
No, I actually haven't, but I know a couple people who've like gone to help out for the masterclass like shooting. Like,
oh wow.
Like they like help behind the scenes. I think Jose actually worked on Mariah Carey's.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
So I got the masterclass. And the first one I knew that I wanted to do instantly was Judd Apatow's.
Oh, cool.
I'm a Jewish kid from New Jersey, so Judd Apatow was one of my heroes. Right. Seth Rogen is my.
Oh my God, Seth Rogen. Yeah. Yes. Okay.
My dad is from Canada.
Oh,
Seth is Canadian. Seth's dad is from New Jersey, so I feel like there's always been some sort of connection between us. Yeah.
Definitely.
Manifesting working with him, and I got the Judd Apatow masterclass, and he had a couple lessons on stand-up comedy.
Oh.
And the way that he put it, it just kind of like clicked in my head. Like, oh, that's how you do it.
Okay.
That's how he does it. That makes sense to me.
Right. Like, and what is like a common like formula for like comedy? Like, so how do you get those? Like, how do you get those jokes?
Yeah.
Out? Like, is there like a structure? Like, how do you remember the next joke?
Yeah. So for me, it's just kind of just like the way. I mean, I rehearse it kind of like it's a like an acting
monologue?
thing. Yeah, in a way. But I also love leaving room for like improv and stuff, and like if something like because my background does come in improv,
right?
And getting the crowd involved too.
So for you, it's actually not always like it's not like a monologue or like a poem. I'm just like saying poem because I'm like you have it like structured out, But like for you, you actually have like some room for improv where you're literally just like, okay, I'm gonna like freestyle this joke in here, or like maybe ask the audience like a question.
Yeah, sometimes. So like if for a 5-minute set, I like to have 4.5 minutes so that I could leave 30 seconds of room for anything that can happen.
Oh shit, that's like so much pressure. I feel like.
Yeah,
like,
but it's
30
fun.
30 seconds feels like fucking 2 minutes on stage.
It's a long time. But something that I've carried over from acting as well, that my acting coach always, we do a lot of Meisner technique, which is what is the other person doing? How do I feel?
Yes.
And I use that on stage. What is the audience doing? How do they feel? How does that make me feel? How do I continue to make them feel comfortable if that's how they are? How do I continue to make them laugh? Which is hopefully what's going on because it is stand-up comedy.
Yeah, right.
But so what Judd Apatow would talk about was storytelling, which had always been my favorite kind of stand-up comedy.
Right. I really enjoy that too. I feel like sometimes that makes me feel more connected than just like random jokes. Even though like it is funny when you hear like random jokes. Like, oh, that's a good one.
I have a couple of those as well too.
But when they match and it's like all like one story, you're like, oh, this is good.
Yeah.
Like, it just like flows so nicely.
Yeah. So like the 5 minutes that I've been doing a lot recently, a lot of my sets had all kind of had this through line of dating.
Right.
I don't know if you noticed that, but there was
that.
There was the online dating. There was how astrology affects dating, trying to date a friend.
Yes. When she brought her ex.
That's
and that's
that's a 100% true story. Yep.
Oh shit! Mm-hmm. No way.
Yeah, can't say too much about the joke because I'm still working on that joke and trying to get it better.
Right.
But yes, 100% a true story.
So you're actually using real life things that have happened to you.
Oh yeah.
Like how much of your act is like things that have actually happened, and then things that you maybe like over exaggerate?
Yeah. I mean, it depends on which set I'm doing. I'd say a good chunk of it is pretty accurate.
Okay.
Like I like to think
like maybe
that
like
funny shit happens all.
Yeah.
Okay. I like to think that
high,
funny shit happens all the time to all of us, and like the world is just funny. The universe works in such funny ways.
And I feel like you're also looking at it in like a funny, like in a positive perspective. I feel like sometimes things happen to us and you can like either see it in like a positive light and like make it funny because you're just like, yeah, that was fucking stupid, or yeah, that sucked, but you know what, I'm gonna like make it, I'm not gonna let it bring me down and like, make a joke out of it. No. Or there's the people that they just like let it affect them and really put a damper on their day.
No,
you gotta pick and choose, like what is it gonna be for you,
100%. And I'm maybe to a fault sometimes always seeing the humor in everything. Like I said, I get mad on the 101.
Right.
But half of me getting mad is me trying to be ridiculously mad to make myself laugh in a way. Where it's just like, you're crazy for getting this angry about it. Yeah.
Actually, that's really funny you said that because 2 days ago, I was driving home from work. I work in downtown, so downtown's crazy. Like, I just feel like there's always like it's never a dull moment in downtown. Like someone's gonna cut you off, someone's gonna flip you off, right? Yeah. Anyway, that's what happened. I was at the light waiting for it to turn green. I was the only one at the light for like 45 seconds, literally just like waiting my turn. This fucking gold truck pulls up next to me and like basically tries to like go around me to like be the first one to go when the light turns. But it
must have been a really important person.
I was like, who is? And literally he just like cuts me off, looks at me, flips me off, and then like makes his like tire like create smoke. And I literally was like, what did I do? I was like, I literally have just been sitting here for like 45 literally did nothing. And I was like, he is very upset about something. And in that moment, I just was like, I was shocked that it was like, ended up being funny for me. Like, I was just like I think I legit had my mouth open in the car. So I was just like, and then I started cracking up. I was like, this is pretty weird and funny at the same time.
Choose to find it funny.
Any other day, I probably would have been like pretty upset about it. I'd be like, why are you flipping me off? But I was like, you know what? No. It's funny.
No, and obviously there's times where, like I said, I can maybe sometimes find things funny to a fault.
Right.
Because there's definitely things that should not be found funny.
Right. I was going to say that. When do you ever feel like there was like maybe a moment where you're like, okay, that wasn't funny, Kyle. Like,
Yeah.
You're just like,
Oh,
you're using that as like a defense mechanism, maybe?
Yeah,
maybe?
definitely. Definitely. I didn't know we were doing therapy right now, but definitely.
He starts crying. You're like, this is getting too deep.
No, I definitely. It's more of just like making jokes at times, maybe when you shouldn't be making jokes.
But sometimes it diffuses the situation, right?
Right. That's my agreed.
That's my
You're
thought.
right. You're right, Priscilla. No, I'm always in the right when I make a joke.
Well, you're making me laugh, so obviously you're funny enough, right?
Thank you.
I just laugh at everything.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna go home and cry for a little bit.
I like to give my guests a hard time. No, I'm just kidding. But I actually wanted to ask you about something because I had a couple episodes ago, I had someone on that also would write jokes, and she had been through like a lot of crazy shit in her life, and she told me she would use a lot of her pain to create jokes. And those types of jokes were like the funniest in her opinion, like the most fucked up shit that happened to her actually. So when things like not saying when like fucked up shit happens to you, but when things happen that are like not funny or very like extreme or emotional, like do you tend to take that and convert it into your like jokes and try to make it funny, or do you like to just do more like daily stuff that happens to you or encounters or people you meet?
I haven't yet. Like I said, I've been doing this for 6 months.
Yeah.
So like I still really do consider myself pretty new into the whole joke writing process, joke developing process, joke performing process. But my therapist actually recommended, I was going through a couple tough things, and he was like, make jokes about it.
Fucking therapy is life. Like,
therapy is, this is
we have to,
let's take a moment and thank therapy for a second. Yeah.
Honestly, anyone who's going through shit, I really recommend therapy.
Even if you're not going through shit.
Even if you're not going through shit, it's nice to just fucking talk to someone.
Yeah.
Low key, like, part of the podcast too, it's nice to just talk to people who are in the industry that are going through like different things, but like it kind of connects.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like we said earlier, like when I asked you to be in the documentary, and then we bonded on this whole thing about addiction. Like, who would have known that was going to be something that we had in common? But I mean, it sucks that we have something so dark and heavy as something in common. But
people need baggage.
Exactly.
People need baggage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it feels good to be able to talk about it, not just like on the podcast, but even like through the documentary. People will see it through your comedy. Maybe like you never know. Like it's just nice to bring awareness in different ways that maybe you wouldn't usually see it, you know?
No, my dad is begging me to put addiction jokes in there.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too, because people get like, it's like a really like weird subject, you know what I mean? Like people don't want to always talk about it because it's very like taboo with like certain families or like even friend groups. Like, oh, don't talk about like this person doing like these types of hard drugs or whatever. Right. It's frowned upon, and people do label like those types of people as like, they just don't label them as like, oh, like they're amazing people. They're perfect, unfortunately, which it's fucked up because those people have gone through something or experienced something that led them down that path, you know? So I really do think it'd be interesting to incorporate that, because people don't. Don't. And it's like a lot of people are going through it that we didn't even realize. Like, I don't know if you recently saw like Hayden Panettiere. She just came out talking about how she was going through alcohol and opioid addiction.
That's why she ended up giving up giving up custody of her child, right? Yeah, I did see that.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah. Like,
how did you pronounce her last name? You struggle with last names, right? Yeah. That's why I announced my name. We're doing this. That's why I announced
on my own podcast.
I am.
I'm not good. I am not good with last names. Honestly, I'm not even really good with first names. I'm just really good with faces. Like, I'm like, oh, I've seen you before. I know you. Name? You, like, I don't know what's happening up here. Like, you introduce yourself, and I'm like, I have to repeat the name.
What did you say?
To you. Yeah, I'm like, what was it? I feel really bad because I'm like so good with faces. I'll see you once, I'll remember you forever. You can tell me your name 3 times. Yeah. I'm not going to remember the name.
Kyle, by the way.
Nice to meet you, Kyle. What was it? No, I'm just kidding. Low-key separate
comedy.
Yeah, right. So
yes.
You performed at Comedy Chateau. You performed at Haha.
Yes.
You performed where else? Like, I feel like you've been all
over. I've performed at Flappers.
Ooh.
I've performed at a few different bars. One is called the North End, I believe. Cool. One is called the Sunset Rooftop.
Damn. Okay.
Their new kind of spaces.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I do open mics kind of all over. Open mics is actually a really interesting subject.
What's the difference between open mics?
So open mics is kind of like going to the gym to work out. You know what I mean? And that's how it should be treated as when you're a comedian.
Okay, elaborate. What do you mean?
Which I wish I would have known this. Yeah. So you go to an open mic and it's only other comedians there. Okay. So everybody is there to try out jokes, to try out new jokes, to be fine-tuning their set.
Perfecting their... Okay,
yeah.
Got it.
And so a great open mic, in theory, is just like a very safe place where you can...
Where people give like friendly or constructive criticism.
Not even constructive criticism, but more like nobody wants to laugh at an open mic because everybody's there to do their own jokes. So like when I first started
oh my god,
doing
pressure.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
it's tough. When I first started doing stand-up comedy, which I still feel like I first started doing. Like I'm still kind of in that stage.
Right, but you're in it.
Yeah. But those first couple months were just like brutal because it's just open mics. And that's all I thought that stand-up comedy was. Like I didn't realize.
That's like is that like the beginning? Like is it like open mics, stand-up shows?
I've I'm not going to name drop, but I've seen a couple stand-ups who are like notable at open mics. Oh. So I do think that, and I'm sure all the great ones would say that too, that just like you should be still like I said
somewhere, like of course,
and you should be still going there throughout it because like I said, it's like going to the gym. It's working out that muscle. And,
exactly.
And then what I learned when I did my first show is that shows are not like open mics because when people pay tickets to go see a show, they want to laugh.
They want to laugh. Yeah. Nobody's like, oh, I'm not gonna laugh.
Some people do.
Really?
So, yeah. Oh, it's really funny.
People try not to like they're like, this guy's not gonna get me to laugh, and they're just like frowning in the back or some shit.
Some people.
That's a little excessive.
Yeah, it's funny when they're in the front row too.
Oh,
and like I said, part of the fun is like calling out people. Like I had a guy just like completely passed out in the front row at one of my shows.
He's like, I just need to take a nap.
I think he had maybe 1 too many drinks or 4 too many.
Yeah, 4 too many.
But he was completely passed out, like the whole head back and everything and
just
stuff.
Snoring and
shit. And like I was saying before, it's what is the audience doing? How do I feel about it?
Right.
And I saw him doing that.
Yeah.
And I wasn't gonna let it slide. And so I just like
smart.
Yeah, and so I comment on it, and the audience loves seeing things like that happen in the moment.
Right.
That's why improv comedy people go crazy for it.
But yeah, okay. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. This was
so
this
fun.
Was an awesome first time ever doing a podcast. I hope
you come back, and I want to definitely check in with you in a couple episodes and see like where you're at. Maybe in like a month or two, see where you're at, where the comedy career path is going, what shows you're like. Next thing I know, you're going to be selling out shows. Yeah. So I'm excited to hear all about that because I know it's coming in the near future.
Yeah.
I honestly was shocked that you said 6 months because it like your confidence level and your work didn't feel like 6 months.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It felt like you've been doing this for a while. So that's why I was like, what?
Yeah.
So that's so exciting.
I've been making jokes for a very long time.
You're like, I'm just a funny dude. I was making jokes.
I got picked on a lot by my friends as a kid.
Really?
So I think that's what inspired me to be. That's what one of my best friends, Ito, will tell you is that he takes credit for my comedy because he was really mean to me. Yeah. So I would have to always have comebacks for him. Yeah.
But it worked. Yeah. Look, it
Muscle
turned out
memory.
great.
Yeah.
It turned out great. Now you're gonna make this like part of your career. Make
one last thing.
Yes, please.
I don't know when this is airing, but as of now, today is Sunday, June 17th.
Yes.
Sunday. Look at that. Wow. I'm incredible.
What day it is.
I know.
Yeah.
No, that's I usually don't. I have a show Wednesday, July 20th.
Oh my God, perfect.
So I don't think this will be out by then. Probably.
It comes out that day.
Okay. Well, so
maybe,
if you see it and you want to come by, check me out. I'll be at the Comedy Chateau, 8:00.
Yes.
Tonight, I guess, because this comes out
exactly
July 20th.
8 p.m. Yeah. Check him out. Do you have another one coming up this month?
Or
where's like a regular place they could find you maybe?
Yeah, follow me on Instagram, Kyle Gelfand. I'm sure I'll be tagged in this anyway. But yeah, I post about my shows when I have them. I post clips. I post other little funny contents to TikTok. I'm starting to get more and more into doing that, which has been fun.
Yeah.
So
I've been seeing that.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely give him a follow. Check him out. Go check out a stand-up comedy show. hire him as an actor.
Yeah, please.
Man of many talents over here.
Yeah.
Or if you just want someone to be funny and hang out with.
Yeah.
You're like, no, don't do that.
No. Or like if you just want somebody to know you.
Yeah. Or if you just want to get a drink.
Yeah.
Go
Come down. Come to V. Grab a drink.
Well, though. Tip them well.
Yeah. Please, not enough people do.
No. Yeah. Really? Still? You would think that?
No. It's okay.
That's a whole nother story.
I'll be on to talk about tipping your bartender.
I'm actually, you know what? Having bar stories would be really interesting. Like, I'm sure you hear all kinds of different shit, all types of crazy shit. I've already thought about like how fun would it be to go to a bar and just like talk to some people that are sitting at the bar and maybe use their stories as a feature or short film and just quickly like type something out. You never know.
Ridiculous
people
things that
spill
happen.
the beans at bars. A lot. I've been talking to some writers and they're like, I literally go to bars just to like write stories.
Yeah.
They're even saying they buy people drinks so that way they get the free stories. And
I
was like,
smart.
That's fucking genius.
Yeah.
I'm like, I gotta start doing that.
No,
so maybe I'll be sitting over there, you know, and like, Kyle, can I get a drink and get these people some drinks too? And start jotting on my notebook.
And slip this microphone just right under them. Yeah.
A recorder. I'm like, okay, so tell me about your life.
Yeah.
But thank you again so much
for
coming
having
on.
me.
It was
this was
so
awesome.
much fun.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys follow him, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.